Hey folks, I wanted to give you a run through of calculating another foundation. So we're going to be looking to calculate the volumes for the footings, the walls, and the slab. And so, like with the other shape, there is a trick to this particular shape, and I'll show you that. First off, as with anything, we need to convert our inches into feet because we're going to start off getting our answer in cubic feet. We are then going to convert it to cubic yards. Okay, now if this were metric, we wouldn't have to do that, but here we are. So if we take 10 inches and we divide it by 12, that gives us 0.833 feet. Okay, 8 inches divided by 12, 0.667 feet. 23, that's 1 foot 11, 1.917 feet. 0.333 feet. 52 foot 10, 52.833 feet, 41.667 feet, and that should be good. So if we look here, there's this bump out, right? Now, the trick with this one is that if you look, right, that's the overall shape. Now, it doesn't change the overall length because of this, right? The one thing we do have to consider is that because it does bump in, it's not as though it's just this straight rectangle. We have to consider the length of the bump in. But as we've talked about before, because it's measured 9 feet from outside to outside, if it changes from center to center or inside to inside, it still stays 9 feet. So basically what we can do is we could take that overall shape, right, and then go add 9 feet here and 9 feet here, so we'll go plus 18 feet, okay? So what we want to do, as for normal, we want to get our center line perimeter. So again, imagine we drew a dotted line at the center here. Okay, so one wall thickness is 10 inches. We're going to take off 5 inches on that side and 5 inches on that side, right? So for a total of 10 inches. Makes our life easy. This goes from 52 foot 8 to just 52 feet. 52 foot 10 to 52 feet. Here we have 41 foot 8. We take 10 inches off of that. We're going to be at 41 minus another 2 inches. We'll be at 40 foot 10, so 40.833 feet. Okay, and then we said we're going to go plus 18 feet. Okay, so for perimeter, we're going to go center line perimeter is equal to 52 plus 40.833. Okay, and instead of doing that twice, we're just going to go times 2 because we have it on the top and the bottom, right and the left. And then we're going to go, once we have that answer, let's pull up the old calculator here. Okay, 52 plus 40.833, okay, times 2. And then we're going to go plus 18. Okay, so total center line perimeter, 203.667 feet. Okay, that is just a length measurement. So what is the length to go all the way around the building at the center line? All right, so now that we have our center line perimeter, we know that the formula for volume is equal to length times width times height. So here we have our length, right? Now for our footings, we just need to go times our width and times our height. And that's it. And then for our walls, we take our length, same length, times our width and times our height. Super simple. So the only thing we really have to do now, punch in these numbers, and then we'll have to do a little bit more head scratching when it comes to doing the slab. Okay, so for the footing volume, we're going to go 203.667 times 1.917 times 0.667 feet. Okay, so bring the calculator back up, running out of space here. Right, 203.667 times 1.917. Okay, so here we multiply it all together, we get a total of 260, 60.42 feet cubed. Okay. Now we know we want our final answer in cubic yards, so we will divide that by 27. And our final answer there, divided by 27, 9.65. Running out of room here, cubic yards. I'll rewrite that at the end so it's a little bit more clear on the line. Okay, so here we have our wall is 0.83, so we're going to go 203.667 times 0.833 feet times 10 feet equals, okay, 0.833 times 10. Okay, so we have 1,696.55 feet cubed. Okay, again, we want that in cubic yards. We're going to divide that by 27, and we get 62.84 cubic yards. Okay, so I'll rewrite these totals at the end. I want to just clear the screen so that we can get a good view of figuring out the area here, okay? Because what we want to do is get the area of the actual slab and then just multiply it by the thickness. All right, so I'm going to clear the screen. So when we started off, what we did is we took off one wall thickness, half on this side, half on this side. Now to get to the inside, from here to here, what we have to do is take off a full wall thickness on the right and a full wall thickness on the left, okay? And so my plan here for the area is to do the area in two parts. I mean, we could technically do 1, 2, 3 parts, but that just seems like too much work for me. What we can do instead is figure out the total area on the inside, just length times width, and then what we can do is take off this area. Okay, so let's get our purple length times width here. So we got a 52 foot 10. We're taking 10 inches off, so we'll be at 52. We're taking another 10 inches off, so we'll be at 51 foot 2 inches, which is 51.167 feet. And then 48 or 41 foot 8. We're taking 10 inches off. We'll be at 40 foot 10 minus another 10. We'll be at 40 feet. Well, that's nice and clean. Okay, so area 1 is equal to 51.167 times 40. Okay, let's bring that calculator back. 51.167 times 40. Okay, so we have an area of 2,046.68 feet squared. All right, now for our area 2, we know it's 9 feet, right? Outside to outside, it's the same as inside to inside. So it's 9 feet wide. It's just a matter of how long it is. So here we can see we have 18 foot 8 is from inside to inside. So to account for that, we have to go plus 10 inches here and plus 10 inches on that side. Okay, so 18.667, 18 foot 8. And then we're going to go plus 20 inches. That's 1 foot 8 inches, so 1.667. Okay, so we get 20 foot 4. So this dimension becomes 20 foot 4 inches, which is, let me just rewrite that, 20.333 feet. Okay. So area 2 is equal to 20.333, it continues, okay, feet times 9 feet equals, times 9, 183. I'm just going to keep it at 183 feet. Feet squared. Okay, so we have 2,046.68 minus 183. Okay, so our final area is equal to 1863.68 feet squared. And then we just need to multiply that by 4 inches in feet, 0.3333 times 0.333 feet. Okay, 620.61 feet cubed, and we're going to divide that by 27, and we get 22.99 cubic yards. Okay, so I'm just going to clear the screen here so I can write the final answers for all of them down again. So for footings, we ended up with 9.65 cubic yards. For the walls, we ended up with 62.84 cubic yards. And for the slab, we got 22.99 cubic yards. All right. Of course, we haven't added any waste factor to this. We are just simply working on our math for now. When we go to order concrete, we would typically add some percentage waste depending on if we're pouring footings or walls or slabs. Okay. I hope you guys find this helpful. Please let me know if you're having a hard time with calculating concrete volume still. We will practice that. We can meet one-on-one. Happy to do that. All right. All the best, guys. Take care.